As Garrett had mentioned, I'm coming to you with about 25 years of practical experience before I turned over to the dark side of consulting here. So I'm going to come at this from sort of your point of view, from a practical approach, and try to enlighten you on some of today's threats and what we see in the marketplace today in terms of our customer base. And really the idea is we're going to try and provide you some insight in terms of trying to measure how your security aligns with the threats of today that we see with most of our customers. So moving into this, it's really important to at least get a background and an understanding, and I'm a firm believer in sort of understanding how we got from point A to point B. And the way we need to look at this is look at the compute environment and what's happened over the last 40 or 50 years in the compute environment. When it comes to security, the compute environment really also impacts security. We're going to talk a little bit about that in the next slide as well. But the idea here is you had mainframes very early on, and that was really easy to secure. They were in big rooms that were locked down. Not very many people had access to it. And in fact, in mainframe land, there weren't a whole lot of terminals that had direct access either very early on. And as the compute started to branch out into more business functions, terminals started to have more terminals come back to the mainframes, and then security started to be more of a concern again in that mainframe environment as well. And what happened then in the 80s is we went to more of a distributed architecture. We said, we need to get more compute power at the desktop, and we did that for a number of reasons. One is the cost of compute power started to come down over time. But what that did is that increased the risk. And so if you look at over time, as we've made these transitions in terms of technologies, we've disseminated more and more and more out because the compute cost has come down. And because of that, again, are the threats and the risks have come up. And now today we live in the world of cloud, and we're hearing a lot more about IoT, the Internet of Things.